It's stretching me, keeping me in the streets. Money.
And the Old Grumpy Prosperity team for this week's episode of Grow Your Mind and Money. Now, tonight we are interviewing world-acclaimed chef and instructor, the one and only Chef Ernesto of Food Talk Radio. Chef Ernest Hayles is one of the most creative and inventive chefs in the food industry today, with an international following that has him be a leader and recognized as more than a chef. Chef Ernesto shares his recipes and encourages newbies and those who have been preparing dishes for years to expand their vision and exceed all expectations. Chef Ernesto has experienced the other side of the mountain, the valley, and the mountaintop, and has used those challenges to empower himself and others in creating culinary treats that tingle the taste buds and educate people about food safety. The difference Chef Ernesto makes for those in the food industry and everyday cooks at home has him be a champion for humanity. Well, Shawnee the Poet, the original Sunshine Princess of Poetry, is performing live this week. And all of our wonderful prayers are with her, but she did send us a piece to kick off our show from her friend, Baritone. Let's hear My Poetic Purpose.
I am the seed of King David, the son of the Lion of the tribe of Judah, an heir to the land made without hands. I am Abraham's beneficiary. I am God's poet, and this is my poetic purpose. My poetic purpose is to systematically serenade your soul and soothe your spirit with anointed exaltations given to me by the Father to give to you, my sisters and brothers, in hopes that I could say something that would cause you to contemplate or meditate about, get your life straight, and after I minister, can't wait to go and tell others. If you would incline your ears to these words I spit, you see when the spotlight hit, the spirit is moving, then I exhale. I paint pictures of my emotion and give the vision with the story I tell. So that means that I can cater to any crowd, however you want it, sign language or braille. My poetic purpose is to bless his holy name every night and day. Give him my undivided attention every time I pray. Ask him to take charge of my thoughts, control the things I say, to thank him in advance because I know he's making a way. My poetic purpose is to reach all brothers in jail cells and let them know to keep their head up and don't look down. And just because you're shackled in the physical, spiritually you don't have to be bound. Let your voice ring out like the sound of 10,000 cymbals, shouting the name Jesus, shaking the very foundation where you stand and making every demon tremble. My poetic purpose is to make disciples of men, to ask them to search themselves from deep within, to let them know that we all have sinned and fell short of his glory. But it's your testimony that will make another brother bold enough to get up and tell the story. My poetic purpose is to seek Solomon for wisdom from Proverbs, to read the prophetic words of Isaiah and Zechariah, to have the spirit of Jesus when I'm tempted by Satan and tell the devil that he's a liar. To have the faith of Abraham when God instructs me to do something that my flesh cannot comprehend. To look to the sky and think to myself, oh, what a friend. My poetic purpose is to mean what I say and say what I mean, to spit the uncompromising gospel of my Savior, my Lord, my King. Y'all don't hear me. My poetic purpose is to mean what I say and to say what I mean, to spit the uncompromising gospel of my Savior, my Lord, my King. My poetic purpose is to build a legacy for my children's children to see that their granddaddy was a P-O-E-T on the M-I-C for G-O-D. My poetic purpose before I leave this room is to have your spirits just like that burning bush on fire but not consumed. My poetic purpose is to decrease so that he may increase, so I'm about to end this piece. My poetic purpose is to get you to see that it's the God in me when speaking so eloquently I am furnished cerebrally with all the right things to say. My heavenly Father is the potted, I am the clay.
Whew. Well, we know that lit us
Snap.
Absolutely.
Snap. Toe tap.
Toe tap.
And before we continue, it is time to see what money-making thoughts Darnell has for us today.
Thank you, Quiet Storm. Meaningful effort. Choose to do what you believe in, and then put the full power of your belief behind what you are doing. Follow what you are passionate about and give the energy of your passion to it. That might mean making a big external change in what you're doing with your life. Or it could mean making changes that are more internal in how you think and about how you relate to what you're doing. Meaningful effort is just not an idealistic concept and not just for a lucky few. It produces practical, valuable results and is attainable by anyone. Doing what you believe in does not mean you must quit your job or walk away from your responsibilities. Follow your passion. It is not necessarily a matter of abandoning the common sense practical considerations in your life. It is much more a matter of your expectations, your motivations, and your attitude in every moment. Though it may be challenging, you can find a way to express your highest values and to follow your deepest passions in any circumstance. Resolve to meet the challenge and to do what you do in such a way that you can truly believe in it. Make every effort a meaningful effort and enable those efforts to produce great and satisfying results. What I have learned about myself and growing my mind when it comes to the theme meaningful effort and the action I will take is to be selfish about my passion. I look to always believe in myself through any circumstance. While I do not look to abandon practical considerations, I look to put meaningful effort into my dreams. Frank B, over to you for the interview.
Thank you, voice of reason. Being selfish about your own passion. In this part of the show, we learn about a challenge Chef Ernesto faced in having his dreams fulfilled. A challenge that knocked the wind out of his sails. Somehow, some way, he kept going and used that challenge to give him strength that has made him successful in every area he chooses to focus his time and energy. Chef Ernesto, welcome to the show.
Wow, this is awesome. Thank you so much, my brother.
Well, we are glad to have you this evening, and we're going to dive right into it. Now, Chef, what we're asking in this part of the show is for you to please share an incident or time in your life that knocked the wind out of your sails. When the going got even rougher and you felt like you were lost, we do ask you to be as specific as possible so we can truly appreciate what you were experiencing.
Wow, there were so many times, starting with at one where I had an instructor tell me that I wasn't going to be a very good cook. And a lot of times people who are in the business, they use this tactic against people like ourselves, against, I guess I can say urbanites, to kind of knock them down in the ground. You know what I'm saying? But I was stronger than that. I'm like, I am not going to let this food tell me that this is not what I do. So that was one time. And another time was when
Chef Ernesto, okay, can we elaborate a little bit? What happened?
Yeah. Oh, well, it was just a selfish teacher. I had made a mistake. You know, we all make mistakes. And it was a simple mistake. I forgot what the mistake was because it was almost 40 years ago. But whatever it was, he had just told me that I wasn't going to be good in this business. And basically, the answer that I gave him, I can't say over the air. So, but it turned in my favor. So I'm still in this business. He's probably dead somewhere.
But just to kind of go back, now, were you just out of school, or can you give?
Let me give you a little history. Just a little history. I'm a Vietnam vet, and I was in during the Vietnam War, and I went in as an Army cook. And when I got out, I went in out of juvenile hall at 17 years old. And when I went in the Army, there was a 2-year enlistment during the Nixon administration. So I enlisted out of juvenile hall because I was always in trouble. And when I got out, I decided to go to culinary school because my dad was a chef, my grandfather was a chef, and my great-grandfather was a chef as well. So I knew that I was rooted very well and very deep in this business. I'd had some experiences cooking some stuff, but mainly at 15 and 16, my experiences were dishwashing and being bossed around and being told what to do. But that did one thing for me. That built character for me so I can know how to lead in that area as well as cooking. So.
Okay, so here it is. You got out of juvie. So
yeah.
You don't go to juvie because you was behaving.
Oh, yeah. All somebody had to do in the 70s was say, yo, mama, and it was all. You know?
Yeah, I can get that. And
yes,
then,
sir.
So you go into the military, and you're actually a cook in the military.
Yes, at 17.
Okay, and you're in Vietnam.
Yes.
Whoa, a lot different from the streets there. And after you get out of the military, okay, you just felt that, let me go the natural route. So that you end up going to culinary school?
Yes.
And about how old were you then?
I was 20 years old at that time. I was 19 when I got out and 19 when I started school. 19, 20, and 21.
And how long had you been in school before the instructor made the remark?
About 18 months.
Well,
He was just one of those type of people. Yeah, I had some time in culinary school, and I was very popular. And, I excelled in all of my classes, but I guess he thought he could use that tactic because that tactic works with a lot of us, It works. The way you get your teacher telling you that you can't do something, that tactic works a lot, and it's so unfortunate that it does, that people can't reach inside themselves and find the real deal, the positiveness or the drive to pull themselves up out of that type of situation. A lot of people
moment, if we can, now if we can just kind of go back to that moment.
Yes.
That very moment. And like I said, I know it's been some time and you kind of forgot what happened, but if you kind of represence it, can you give an idea of what was going on in that moment?
I know what it was. We were preparing some items for catering, and instead of throwing hot liquid in the sink, I threw it in the garbage can. And it actually destroyed the liner, the plastic liner, and part of the can. And so he got really upset about that, and he told me that I wouldn't make it in this business.
Now were other people there?
Oh yeah, the whole class was there, and he said it to kind of ridicule me in a way. He said that, but my answer to him, I can't give you over the air. Needless to say, like I said, I made it. So it's all good.
Okay, and
I'd like to give you the answer, but I'm not going to do that.
Okay, all right. Oh, okay. I got that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And now, when he said that, though, but did it? I get you live past it, but did it knock the wind out of your sails for a moment?
Yeah, it actually did for a minute, which is why I came back on him and I thought about it. It actually knocked the wind out of my sails. But what happened was, let me tell you exactly what happened, is as soon as he said that, my feelings was hurt a little bit. And about 10 minutes later, I went back and told that dude what he can do. And in layman's terms, I went and I told him, what he can do with his opinion, where he can shove it, blah, blah, blah. And he asked me to leave his class, and I said gladly, because I was only in there for about 4 days. It was the beginning of a modular. So I was real new to his class, but he knew I was a very popular guy. He knew I was one of those guys that asked a lot of questions, which I did. I think what he had against me was I asked so many questions. Like, what's the anatomy of a watermelon? Nobody cared about that, but I did, and I was serious. So I'm a real inquisitive student, and sometimes teachers don't like that. Great teachers do, but teachers do. Yes.
Okay. Now, when he said this, and you collected yourself, but Was there impact? I mean, he was an instructor. Did it impact?
Yeah.
Okay, what was the impact going forward?
Yeah, well, the impact was me getting real pissed off and going over there and telling him what I thought. And then after I told him what I thought, I began to build myself. It only took about 10, 15 minutes for me to catch myself. I wasn't going to let this man take me down. I was not going to let him take me down.
All right, so you could say, well, okay, and I get the positive of it. No, I guess what I'm not getting is that, I get that in the moment, you know, it was just like a blink of the eye and you bounced back.
Yeah.
But did it have an impact for your attendance at the school?
Oh, no, it didn't have any impact. Oh, no, let me take that back. Actually, it did, because from that point on, I showed up. Every day I was a little late. From that point on, I showed up early, and I made it a point to walk by his class, look at him, not say a word, and keep going to class. So I think it did kind of make an impact with me. And, of course, me being young, and it was the free Huey days, and you know, it was just real political back then in the early 70s. The Vietnam War had just ended. I was out, you know, and I was part of the war, and I felt like I had fought for my country and the right for him to say that, you know, but I didn't think it was right that he said that.
Okay, so you got somewhat resentful.
Oh, yeah, very.
Okay, say very. Okay, all right. So you got somewhat resentful, and was that a module that you had to take?
Yes, it was. And when you go to culinary school, and a lot of times when you go to any kind of trade school, when you go to any type of a school like that, technical school, there'll always be a mod that you can take over. I took it over; it was no problem. But see, the important thing was that this was the beginning of the mod, and when I did take it over, I was able to make up all of that stuff that I missed with him because I did the extra study, so it was no problem.
Okay, now, well, I got that you handled it.
Yes.
Okay, but it was a problem.
Oh yeah, it was definitely. I didn't for this situation. I didn't blame anybody because I didn't feel that anybody needed blame except him. I blamed him for being a bad teacher. So you know, and I thought that.
Okay.
Yeah, I blamed him for being a bad teacher because I thought that how dare you say that to a student that's paying your salary, a student that just got out of the Vietnam War, a student that just fought for the right for you to say that. How dare you say that? So he actually bit off more than he can chew when he said that because he didn't know that I would come back on him so strong. That's a trick I learned from my mom. Okay.
Okay, all right. And
yeah,
but how did you like having to do the module over?
I thought that was unfair, but it was. I passed it with flying colors.
No, I mean I got you handled it.
Yes. But I didn't think it was fair for me to do the mod over. I didn't think it was fair for me to have to do it over. But I was glad to be able to do it.
Yeah, no, I got you handled it. Which is a little bit different.
Yeah.
See, we got you handled it because you're here.
Right. But I'm looking for what you need me to.
No. You just don't know how well you're doing.
Okay, all right, all good.
I
just want to move on from this. I do want to move on from this because it's just so many things.
But we like that.
Yeah. Because it's just so many other things. All right. There's just so many other things about the professional kitchen and about the food industry and about the things that we do, like, you know, helping people and feeding the hungry and stuff like that.
But you had a teacher that you was resentful with who almost derailed your career, except that you did handle it.
Well, yeah, okay, let's put it this way. For about 5 minutes, it almost derailed my career, so that will kind of fit the criteria of this part of the discussion, because I actually thought about it. It almost derailed me. And at that point, that's what really made me really angry. It's the fact that I even thought about letting him derail me.
Wow.
That's why I came back strong. That's why I got well and got on him, because I did let it bother me. I did let it almost let the wind out of my sails.
Got it.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Now, you kind of, I'll say you kind of got ahead because you blamed them for, in the moment, And then
Yeah.
you kind of carried some resentment because, like you said,
Yeah.
you made a point
I
of
did.
coming to school early so that you could deliberately walk past his class.
Every day. Every day.
so there was some blame going on there.
Well, if I see that old man today, I still might punch him in the face. No, I'm just teasing on that point.
Or at least kick his can away. But
Or something. Take his pudding and throw it in the car. Give it to somebody else.
Okay. Now, but there was that you had to go to the class because that's what you, not that class, but that was what you're going to do. And
Yes.
even though you, I'll just say, even though you, took the module over again and did well and all
Yes.
of that, but the unfairness.
Yes.
Was there.
It was
unfairness.
It was definitely unfair. Yes.
If the unfairness was there. And even though it didn't, quote, control you, it was there.
Yeah.
And when would you say that you got past the unfairness?
In 10 minutes.
Because that's not true, because you went to school early to deliberately walk past them.
Okay, in 10 years. 2 months, I don't know when I may still not be over it. I don't know. But, I might still be mad at that old man. I'll be waiting by his car when he get out of work tonight. But on the serious side, I don't know, because I never gave it much thought after that. There's been so many other things in my life that happened. I never really gave it much thought till tonight.
Okay. All right. Well, that was great. Well, that was great. That was great.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
That was great. Now, earlier, the Voice of Reason pretty much gave us our theme for tonight, and it kind of fits perfectly with everything you just shared.
Okay.
It really did. And what words of wisdom will you share with our listeners from the theme, meaningful effort, when it comes to building wealth and prosperity, or just staying on track with what you're creating?
That's a good analogy. That's a good question. First, I'd like to say that I don't know who that guy you were talking about at the beginning of the show, but I am Chef Ernesto. Let me stop, obviously. But I would like to say that it's always good to do something for somebody who could never pay you back. Always do that. If you're walking past the McDonald's or eating establishment and you see somebody and they need enough to get something to eat, get it to them. Buy it for them because they are truly hungry. If you see somebody standing over by the liquor store or they standing out on the street, then you use your judgment because most people won't help them. They'll tell them to get a job, I think that's wrong. I think that you should always help somebody and then let God deal with them on their, if you could afford it. But whatever you do, always each one teach one. Grab one, pay it forward. Always do something for somebody who can never pay you back. And do it without expecting payment. And believe me, you will be blessed immensely.
Well, Chef Ernesto, I love what you've been sharing, and really, really what you've been sharing has been a blessing. And it's left me moved, touched, and inspired by, one, your openness.
Yes.
Two, what really got me was how sometimes we're not even present to our own greatness. And I want you to thank you for sharing and being you. Now, we will hear more from Chef Ernesto later in the show. It is time for a prosperous spirit with Miss Cookie.
Thank you, Ronnie. Faith, I expect and receive only good. When fears and doubts cloud my mind, I check in with my heart. I ask myself, where am I placing my faith? Is it in outer appearance or my truth? I may need to redirect my thoughts to my faith in a loving God and a firm divine order. I expect and receive only good. Faith began in consciousness. In the silence, I focus on the reality of infinite good everywhere present at all times. The darkness of doubt gives way to the light of truth. I deny any words of action that suggest lack. Rather, I praise and bless everything I encounter on my life journey. My actions reflect my conviction that my divine inherent is always at hand. I expect and receive only good. It is time for our break.
Stay tuned for The Kitchen with Miss Cookie, Quiet Storm featuring music from a new artist on the corner, and a whole lot more from the Prosperity team.
Another day, another restless night, crying myself to sleep. Another day of relentless phone calls from credit card companies demanding payment. Another day wondering if filing bankruptcy or getting one of those debt consolidation loans is the only way to go. A friend said, stop crying. Call Sharon, the debt destroyer. Sharon and her team of experts work hard to help you eliminate your credit card debt and get you and your credit back on track. No bankruptcy? No loans? Your credit card debt eliminated? I called Sharon, and her team of experts went right to work with a plan that made sense. I am sleeping peacefully, knowing my credit card debt is being destroyed and my credit is getting back on track. Have your credit card debt destroyed and get a good night's sleep. Contact Sharon, the debt destroyer, at yourdebtdestroyed.com or call 888-431-2829, extension 2.
Welcome back. We give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money. And yes, we do it all with love. Whew, okay, something smells great. I think it's a dish Miss Cookie has been whipping up in the kitchen. Oh, Miss Cookie, I am hungry. What is going on in the kitchen with you tonight?
Welcome to the kitchen. We have a great recipe to feed those hearty appetites that have been working diligently on growing their minds and money. I have for you a favorite, family favorite that's easy enough for a novice to make that will impress even the most sophisticated cooks. It takes about 30 minutes to prepare and 90 minutes cooking time. It is Miss Cookie's Creole Country Low Boil. My family calls it that. Cookie's Creole Country Low Boil, and it's yummy, yummy, yummy. If you make this dish with fresh ingredients, it's sure to please. Get those pencils and paper ready. Here we go. You will need 6 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 1 tablespoon of finely ground sea salt, 3 tablespoons of garlic powder, 3 tablespoons of freshly minced garlic, 3 tablespoons of cayenne pepper, 1 tablespoon of freshly ground black pepper, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 2 tablespoons of Old Bay seasonings, but for a fresher taste, make your own by grinding 1 tablespoon of whole black peppercorn, 1 tablespoon of celery seeds, 6 bay leaves, a half a teaspoon of cardamom, 1/2 teaspoon of mustard seed, 4 whole garlic cloves, 1 teaspoon of sweet Hungarian paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of mace, Make sure you grind well in a small grinder. You will need 12 small red potatoes, 1 1/2 cup of butter, 8 andouille spicy smoked sausage from your favorite cereal shop, 8 to 12 small ears of corn, 2 1/2 pounds of large brown shrimp, Gulf shrimp. Never ever get farm raised or Vietnamese. It is not the same. Preparation: preheat your oven to 400. In a large pot, put enough water to cover potatoes. Add 1 teaspoon of sea salt. Add washed potatoes. Cook on medium-high for 30 minutes. Combine olive oil and seasoning together. Toss to coat potatoes and corn. Place on a greased foil paper. Fold together and leave one end open. Add 1/2 cup of butter, 1/4 cup of water. Close the open end. Bake in the oven 30 minutes or until potatoes and corn is tender. Toss sausage in seasoned mixture. Place on a greased foil. Fold together and leave one end open. Add 1/3 cup of water. Fold and cook for 15 minutes. Add shrimp to remaining seasoning. In a large pan, put all ingredients. Remove shrimp from seasoning. Put on top. Pour remaining seasoned mixture and butter over the top. Cover with foil and cook 10 minutes. Carefully open foil and serve warm. This dish is slick, smacking good, and well worth the wait. It is time for the corner with Quiet Storm. Let's give her a smooch and a rose.
Thank you, Miss Cookie. I received that, and thanks again for the delicious journey. And yes, folks, it is time for the corner. And tonight, we are featuring music from Nigel Perkins out of Acworth, Georgia, with his album, You Could Be the One. From the website, recording artist Nigel Perkins is a student of Atlanta music scene pioneers like Monye Crawford and Richard Raleigh of Love Child Productions. Nigel is a member of the new generation of R&B artists working to preserve this genre of music on the back burner for hip-hop and booming beats. Now, with new music, Nigel works to create another Atlanta music scene legacy. He has large shoes to fill, but is so ready for the challenge to let R&B live again. And as you know, we asked the team to vote whether the track should get a smooch and a rose or if it needs more fertilizing. Let's hear Smile.
I'll be right, I'll be good, I'll do anything for you. I'll do anything to make you smile. I'll be here, I'll be there, just to let you know I care. I'll do anything to make you smile. Let me tell you like Lattimore said. Sit yourself down, girl, let's talk about the walking now. Tell me where we went wrong. How could you leave me in this lonely house when you know what's mine is yours? I gave you gifts, I gave you a car, I gave you a heart, but I broke your heart. Anything to make you smile. I'll be good. I'll do anything for you. I'll do anything to make you smile. I'll be here. I'll be there. Just to let you know I'm there. I'll do anything to make you smile. I'll be right. I'll be good. I'll do anything for you. I'll do anything to make you smile. I'll be here. I'll be there. Just to let you know I'm here. I'll do anything to make you smile. I'll be right. I'll be good. I'll do anything for you. I'll do anything to make you smile. I'll be here. I'll be there.
Ladies and gents, that was Smile. And we want to know, is this track getting a smooch and a rose or a frown and some fertilizer? Darnell, what you got to say?
I'm gonna give it a rose. I liked it, but it was really long. I mean, he just kept on and on and on. I thought, somebody put a quarter in his back. He just kept going.
All right. Well, hey. We have heard. You made some good points. And next, let's go to Nakia. Nakia, did this one make you smile?
No, because it seemed like he was begging, pleading. And, everything he said, I liked it. Ultimately, it's like the song was nice. It was cool. I got the point. But it all sounded great. It sounded good. But it sounds so temporary. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be him, be that. I'm going to do anything to make you smile. Either he was still in the honeymoon phase or he had screwed up really, really, really bad. Like Ronnie B said, he had screwed up. And was trying to make up for it. I was just like, and like Darnell says, it was very long, and it's like you got the point. Move on. Okay, let's go. So, with that being said, I think y'all got the point. So, I will give him a part of a smooch. Can't give you no rose and smooch, because you're going to have to work on it, and you begging too much, he's sweat. So, all right.
Ooh, that was something else. All right. Well, we have heard Lady Nakia, and next up is definitely going to be the voice of reason. Well, let's hear what Miss Cookie has to say.
May I borrow, rent someone's fertilizer?
They're on standby.
Can I have, I don't have enough for him. It just went on and on forever. It just was not, just loads of fertilizer. That's it.
Well, that is so clear. And we definitely want to know what our guest, Chef Ernesto, thinks about this one. Chef Ernesto.
Oh my God. I'm over here cracking up. I'm thinking that had he taken some singing lessons before he made this tape, that it might be okay. But I'm gonna check your mailbox for some fertilizer, brother, because you got it covered. I say that with love.
We do it all with love. We do it all with love.
All right. Well, that's good to know I'm in the right place.
Oh, my God.
Ronnie B. Ronnie B. What's the real
Some
deal?
nights the panel was rough, boy. And, I'd like the track. It was too. The boy got skills. He got skills. But I'm going to give him a rose because he brought up Lattimore. So if he could even think about being as good as Lattimore, I'll give him some props. But I'm going to tell you, ladies, that he in Bobby Womack and Babyface territory.
Uh-oh.
And if any brother do never let God bless him, never let Bobby Womack near your woman.
Oh.
You know how that go down. And then you also know that Babyface will lie. Because Babyface will be talking about paying your rent and doing all that other stuff. And brothers, you ain't gonna do all that stuff, And so the Empress called him out on that right away. And but the boy got skills. He need a little more fine tuning. But I'm gonna give him a rose. No smooch because he need a little fertilizing. But I'm giving him a rose.
Well. I have to echo that rose. He gets the rose from me. Hope he does a little bit more with the lyrics. But we are moving on. And yes, next up is our next track from the same artist. This one is In My Room.
Girl, you want what I want. I feel the same when you owe your love to me.
Well, I think you spelled it out. That was in my room. Adam is in my room getting a smooch and a rose from us. Or will it need to be visited by the fertilizer truck? Going straight to Darnell.
I liked it a little better than the first one. So he will get a rose petal and a warning that he comes around here again with that weak stuff, he's getting fertilized.
You heard? Wow. Lady Nakia, you want to put something on top of that?
Hell on fire. Don't come back around here with that weak stuff, in fact. Well, this one was different. It was creative. But I must be feeling some kind of way because I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it. He all in love or something going on, and are he trying to, I don't know, what are you trying to do? You trying to get back into it or something? I don't know. And first he was pleading and begging, talking about I'll do anything for you to make you smile. Now he talking about, I just need you in my room. Somebody in your room, but it ain't me. But I had a question. In a song that he said, did he ask what's your name? Did he say what's her name? Maybe it's I don't know. I couldn't rewind it to go back to figure it out.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't understand it. So he needs somebody in his room. And he want to make us smile all the time. He begging and pleading. And I need him to work his situation out and come back with me with something different. Okay? So I'm going to have to back up that truck a little bit. It was a different sound. But he just, I don't know. He just got too much, I don't know. Maybe it's me. It's me. So I'm going to put some fertilizer out there, and I'll put a pedal because I like the music. But I'm going to throw a pedal for the music. And then, but he's going to have to come with some different words because he's begging to the wrong one.
I love it. Miss Cookie, please tell us what's going on with this man and if it's in my room.
He needs about 3 trucks of fertilizer. Pleading and begging and in his room and outside of his room. He don't know who the person is. Don't know nothing. So let's fertilize him and tell him to come back with a new crop because that one did not grow.
Oh my God.
I hope he's taking notes. You have heard that show?
Yes. Okay. Let's Cookie, you a something else. Okay, in my room. How about out of my room? You get out right now. And he isn't no smooch for me, that's for sure. So, with Miss Cookie, we're going to back up a second truck. And we're going to dump it on him. He is just too much.
It's starting to become really clear.
Okay.
You're going to put the fertilizer or the icing on the cake, as it were.
Oh, you ready for me? I said back at the truck, put the fertilizer, yes.
Oh, Mr. Ronnie, thank you.
You know, there comes a time when the instructor, tells you that you ain't going to make it in that business.
Oh, my God.
Then there comes a time when the instructor lied to you and told you you're doing great. Who is these people he's supposed to be bringing back music to? Because if they letting that out the studio, I want to check their credentials. I think they're lying, that boy. Now, I will say this now. I do think the boy got some skills. He just going to the wrong school.
What are the skills?
Obviously, he going to the wrong school. Because first off, when my cat ran out of the room. He couldn't even keep my cat in the room. My cat looked up and said, "No, I gotta leave. Let me go kiss a mouse or something." Cat had to run out the room. So I'm just gonna have to look. Y'all can borrow my Lowe's card so you can get some fertilizer. As a matter of fact, get some Miracle Grow. Because he needs help. Get some Miracle Grow. Don't just get some fertilizer. Get some Miracle Grow. He needs some help.
Oh my goodness. It's unanimous. It is definitely unanimous. I did like his voice as well, but I really feel, and I know I say this a lot, if you're going to be talking about bringing back, R&B and, reviving the tradition, you at least have to know something about some instruments, not the beatbox. I really liked his voice, but I'd like to hear what he can do with a real band. With that said, our audience out there, if you like what you heard from Nigel Perkins, you can check him out at theonlymusic.com. And once again, that's theonlymusic.com for Nigel Perkins. Well, Voice of Reason, what's up next?
Up next, Shiny Sunshine Lounge and Voices from the Ethers. Please stay tuned.
Oh, beautiful, just beautiful.
Oh, how adorable is
Edible Arrangements has a fresh fruit bouquet to make any occasion special. Our bouquets are made with fresh premium fruit, arranged in a variety of stunning displays. Make every occasion special with Edible Arrangements. Guys, the baby's over here.
Oh, all right. Oh, okay, yes.
And don't even think about touching my edible arrangements.
For pickup or delivery nationwide, call 877-DO-FRUIT, 877-DO-FRUIT, or go to ediblearrangement.com. That's ediblearrangement.com. Yeah.
Oh, my. What a nice looking baby you've got there.
Make all your special moments. Moments with Edible Arrangements.
We give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money, and we do it all with love. Now it's time to visit the lounge. Quiet Storm, take it away.
Thank you, Voice of Reason. Yes, it is Quiet Storm. And this week I am here with you over here, and I want to welcome you warmly to Shiny Sunshine Lounge. Now, this is where we feature a mixture of goodies that will stimulate your mind and definitely have you tapping your feet. Tonight, we have an awesome poet by an old grumpy favorite. Once again, baritone, performing My Fictitious Fiancé.
You are my sunshine on a cloudy day. The finest sculptor's hands couldn't capture your essence with the most expensive clay. Simply because your beauty starts internally, and my love ain't going nowhere, I am yours for eternity. I want you to be that Proverbs 31 type of woman who can overcome any obstacle and never be fazed. A lady who understands that charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. I want to give you that agape love that 1 Corinthians speak of, that is patient, kind, and that will never end. I want you to be a strong-minded sister, the Mrs. to my Mr., the Mia to my Remus. A woman who keeps her eyes on the prize and never lets jealousy come between us. You see, my heart was barren like Sarah's womb until love was conceived, and you made me believe that we could coexist and do this When I think of how much you cared for me and filled that empty space, I first given honor to God for His amazing grace. You see, I was a lonely man, afraid of rejection, lacking direction, until you came along and, following the tracks of my tears, wrapped me in your arms and showed me love and affection. Je ne te quitterai jamais et je ne t'aimerai toujours. Translation, I will love you forever and leave you never. The Lord revealed you to me in a dream that time that we meant to be together. I can't wait for that day when you're walking down that aisle, wearing the most elegant dress, the same colors, you'll smile as we take our vows and look into each other's eyes. My mind fast forwards to waking up to a blessing every time the sun rises. Now there will be some challenges along the way. The devil will try to attack us without warning. We may not even see him coming. But I'd rather have bad times with you than good times with another woman. Before I could blink, He blessed me with you, and that's exceeding abundantly above all that I could ever ask or think. Ever since the day I met you, you filled my world with so much love. I prayed for a soul meeting. He sent me a blessing down from up above. My love, I want you to know that I've missed you since birth. Also that I am a real man who understands a woman's worth. Sweet lady, it is your love that I hunger. And I'm willing to wait forever, because what doesn't kill me can only make me stronger. I have been denied the pleasure of your presence, so make yourself seen. And I know your heart can hear me because my pulse is racing. So I'll be waiting for you at the beginning of every morning and at the end of every day. I can't wait for our souls to collide. My beautiful bride, my fictitious fiancé.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. And it is now time to continue our interview with Chef Ernesto and Empress of Faith, Lady Nakia.
Thank you so much. This has been awesome tonight.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. In this segment,
did we miss the part where we check with the panel to find out if his fiance is getting some snaps or some rotten tomatoes?
Oh my goodness! I guess we did. We did miss that, and we should do that. We should.
Well, maybe we need to check in with the panel.
Let's do that right away. Let's do it right away, and I'd like to start with Ronnie B. Ronnie B. Tell us what it be like.
Well, you know I'm giving baritones some snaps, and I'm going, Nigel, you need to listen to my fictitious fiance, because my brother did not beg, he didn't plead, he just said what was on his heart and stepped it on out there. I'm ready to go out with Nakia right now.
That was smooth. That was real smooth. Empress, how smooth was it?
Oh, all right. I might have to take Ronnie B up on that. You know, that's how you do it. Fictitious fiance, because I'm always a Proverb 31 woman. Whether people realize it or not, I have my flaws, but at the same time, I'm always striving for greatness and betterment within me, internally and externally. Because I can't because there's only one perfect being, and that would be God Himself. So, I'm going to give it snaps. No tomatoes.
Hey.
Nice.
Yeah, well, let's hear from our guest, because he just said he thought that was nice. Was he talking about the Empress or?
I was talking about the comment, but the performance was actually very good. I thought it was actually, you know, the point to where you first, guys first get with your lady, and you've been with her for about 2 or 3 months, and that feeling is still new, and you still got your job, you haven't lost it yet, so you can buy her some things, and you're realistic about your relationship, you know. And then all of a sudden, he's telling her all of these things, or even if he's trying to get her. I take that back. Even if he's trying to get her, he takes her out to breakfast or Starbucks or something, and he starts spitting all of these things that he can do for her. I like the fact that he didn't beg. I like that. But at this time, he's really trying hard to pull her, and I like that. I give that brother some snaps.
Okay, that was a deeper perspective. Yes, Empress?
I like the fact that he said he still has his job. He has not yet lost his job.
Not yet lost it. Oh, you heard that, huh?
I thought that was priceless. I'm sorry. I thought that was just lovely. I'll appreciate that, men and women.
Yes.
All
right.
Oh, we're going to give the brother some snaps. Again, he wasn't bad.
Yes.
He didn't,
right.
He didn't play the role of a simp. He came full-fledged, all-out, full-court pressure, but in a finesse, smooth type of way. Before I think the woman was even probably just swept off her feet, she just didn't know it because her feet were probably 2 feet off the ground once he started talking to her. Like that. He was 2 feet off the ground. He was like, yeah, you know. That's all right.
I like that.
That's all right. You still a girl.
Oh yeah, that was a bear rug moment right there. Well, we did like baritone, and he is and will remain an old grumpy favorite, and he definitely gets 2 snaps.
All right.
All right, well, it is actually, yes, indeed, time to continue that interview with our very, very excellent guest here, Chef Ernesto. And
thanks so much.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Quiet Storm and panel, for that lovely segment and participation, as always. So, Chef Ernesto, are you ready to start out this
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm definitely ready, yes.
In this segment, we will learn more about you, Chef Ernesto, the aha moment that launched his career audience as a professional chef, and some of the challenges he faces in having his vision fulfilled. Chef Ernesto, thank you so much for your sharing and your willingness to be open and authentic.
My pleasure.
Chef, please.
Yes, my pleasure. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I heard you. We all right.
All good.
Can you share the aha moment, the aha moment, when you knew in your heart of hearts that being a professional chef was the right thing for you?
Yes. I know exactly when. Oh, my God. I was working as a assistant pastry chef for Sitmar Cruise Lines in the 80s. And whenever I had a break, I would run around and help other people do things. Like it was this one fish guy. He can cut a salmon in less than 90 seconds. I wanted to learn how to do that. So I'd go over and I'd help him, and he put me to work doing stuff. Pretty soon he had me pick up a knife, and he had me cutting salmon and showed me how to do it. The old guy that was like 70 years old on the ship, he carved ice all day long. I wanted to learn how to carve ice. So I'd go to that station and I'd say, hey, listen, can I help you? He put me to work doing all types of stuff. And eventually he taught me how to carve ice. So I'm standing on the edge of the ship one day, and I'm like, this is what I really want to do. I'm through with my school. I got all of this family history. Everything is going great. This is my aha moment right here. I didn't exactly use that term, but thank you for giving it to me. That was my aha moment when I felt like I can do anything in this business. Wow. And I knew I was going to make it. Yes.
Wow, that is powerful. That is excellent. And to be
in
an excellent location during that
Yes.
Wow.
We sailed all over the world on that ship. Whenever I hit Europe, whenever I hit France, I'd go to Le Cordon Bleu in France and would have 4 days of free classes. One of the guys, his father was the head instructor at Le Cordon Bleu in France, and we always got those 4 full days of classes. It was so awesome.
So let me ask you
this.
Yes. Okay, so maybe it's tying into what you're saying, but what circumstances or people? Well, no, this is kind of different. So
okay.
But what circumstances or people challenge you in having your business and the difference you make exceed expectations? And what are you doing to overcome those obstacles?
I have to say a little something before I answer that question. I'm a mentor to young chefs in Africa, and the reason why is because it's a huge mentorship and I'm getting together with a lot of brothers and sisters here who have been in the business like myself for years to actually mentor young chefs in Africa, because they're not offered the high-paying positions because they have other chefs coming from other countries, and there's a lot of training missing there in Africa. But if you go to some of the young chefs' pages and you see some of their work, it is awesome. Now, I said that to say this. My willingness to be a mentor to these brothers has taken me to the point to where I have something that I want to do. I'm talking to grant writers right now. I know I don't have the money to do this. I mean, money's not an issue, but it is in this thing because it's so huge. A 3-story building with a restaurant on the bottom, a bakery, and catering. Then on the top, a school, and on top of that, the 3rd story, a radio and TV station. And I said that to say that I want to bring these people are the people that made a difference to me. Young brothers and sisters who are in trouble with the law and who need a way out, and young African brothers and sisters who need training and who need us to take them in and teach them everything that we have. And those are the people that made that difference for me, that made me want to do this. What I want to do. I want to be able to push people through. I want to make a difference in their lives. So this is what it's about for me. Getting the training, getting people going through my school, getting the restaurant, getting stars. So when people come to town, anybody who's anybody, they will come to Chef Ernesto's place and enjoy it.
Chef, so I got that.
That'll be called enough said.
Okay. So, so what is a disappointment? Share with us a disappointment that would involve working with others that still has you shaking your head.
In this business, and any African American chef will tell you, there's a lot of favoritism. You go in a kitchen and there'll be a particular race of people, and they'll, act like they're better than you. You may go in one place and it'll be all Chinese. You'll go in a place where they'll be all Mexican or all German or all something, and you're the only black guy there. And there are people, and this is almost anywhere I went, who want to try to hold you back, who want to try to set you up. I've had people turn my ovens up and turn them down and, stuff like that. So those people who, the disappointment, it still has me shaking my head because people are still doing this petty stuff to chefs today. Wow. And it still really, really bothers me, the fact that I go in and put my delicate pastry in the oven at 325 and I come back and the boss tells me, I want to talk to you because I've been telling them they're setting me up. They're setting me up. So while we're talking, I show the boss the oven. It's at 325. Not even 5 minutes in the boss are talking, this guy comes over and goes, look, I want to show you something. He pulls the boss over there, and the boss looks at the oven, and it's at 400. He had just turned it to 400, and he showed the boss that I had turned it to 400. Now, the boss knew that I was innocent because he was over there talking to me. And this is the kind of stuff that goes on in the restaurant business. And it's a trip because it's so petty, but it's real. And when people are doing it and you can't prove your innocence unless you're in a situation like that, that's horrible. So, yeah, that still me twisted today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my. So, okay, share a specific moment where your efforts and the memories of the work you do and others did still bring a smile to your face.
I can. Every Friday, I run a feeding program at my church. I play bass for the choir, but I run the feeding program. And when people come to our feeding program, they're having things that they have never had before. I did a shrimp Louis at the feeding program. I just did shrimp quiche last week. I've done pork medallion. I've done lamb over rice. I've done so many dishes that people, like they're coming in a restaurant when they sit down, and you know what? They tell me they love me. A sister brought me a rose. People tell me that they love our cooking because I tell them that I love them often. I love you guys, and you know that I'll give you my best every week. When somebody comes in the feeding program for the first time, I say, make sure you come back. Do come back. These people are telling people about the program, and they're getting stuff that people are getting stuff that they have never had before. Lobster. I've served lobster there. I've had people who have never had lobster, and it is awesome. I smile every Friday. Yeah. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
To a 5-star restaurant.
Yeah, it's like going to a 5-star restaurant.
Oh, wow. That is excellent. I'm sure it's very difficult for the individuals that are partaking in that blessing. It is difficult for them to not come back. But Chef,
yes.
I'm sorry. I know that we could definitely talk forever. But it is
yes.
from our listeners.
Well, before we go, can I just make one more point?
Yes, sir.
I take 90 seconds, I swear. I do a radio show called Food Talk with Chef Ernesto, and it is on accesssacramento.org every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific. And my wife, Pastor Rachi, she's my co-host, and we talk food, and it is awesome. So please, and if you need information about that, go to my Facebook wall, Chef Ernesto, or go to my Facebook page, Food Talk with Chef Ernesto. Get more information about it.
All right. Well, we will definitely find out more about that in the next segment, Chef. But thank you so much for that tie-in. And I know we could definitely talk forever, but we have to get to our listeners.
All right.
What's going on in the ether? So, Quiet Storm, would you take us away? What are the listeners saying over there?
Yes, ma'am. The listeners are live in effect. And this is the segment where we hear from a lot of our listening audience, whether they have questions or comments. And our first person says, what happened to Miss Cookie and Shani? They always seem to be missing at the same time. Are they off playing? Love the show this week. I was impressed and inspired by George. I have worked with several attorneys on major projects, and he is that rare bird that brings knowledge about an industry to the table, not just overwhelming folks with legalese. The You Know theme by Mr. Darnell really had me thinking. Sometimes you have to act like you know instead of making excuses like you don't. And Quiet Storm and her prosperity team, her prosperity work is subtle yet powerful, just like her name. I have listened to her on several shows, and she is deep and touches you at a spiritual level without any righteousness. Very, very powerful. I love her. Well, we love you, too. That was from one Kevin Taylor. Kevin Taylor, please keep it coming. Now, our next voice from the ether says, snap, snap, to Mr. Deep Blue. His poetry is deep, and the vibe is outstanding. I loved all the interviews with Guru George, especially the one with Nikia. She is quite a lady, and they hit it off perfectly. Sometimes we artists need to get help from the right people instead of the people talking that yin-yang. And you know what we mean. Now, George would have saved me a lot of heartache and pain. Wish I had had someone like him by my side to give me the straight dope instead of someone trying to treat me like a dope. That came from Amber Monk. Amber, we definitely hear you on that one. And our next voice from the ethers, this person writes, George is the man. His compassion and spirit was really moving when he shared about his dad forsaking him in his time of need. Tears were streaming down my shirt. My father never did a damn thing for me. When I needed him, he turned his back. Unfortunately, I was not as compassionate as George. I held that resentment until he died. I love the show. Wish Shani had been there on the show this week, but I am rooting for her performance to be Oscar worthy. She is amazing. By the way, I like the music from the young lady, Miss Annie K. She was really good. Well, thank you. That came from Johnny Strab. And once again, we loved all our voices from the ether, so keep it coming each and every week. And Mr. Darnell, what is up next? Please take us to break.
Coming up next, in the next segment, the finale, food for thought and the prosperity word.
Lord, I confess I've made mistakes. I have accumulated too much credit card debt, and now I cannot imagine overcoming it without your help. I beg of you to intercede on my behalf. Provide me with the financial means to be able to breathe again. Please forgive my sins, Lord. Walk with me. Help me to make the right decisions throughout my life. I'm Karen, the debt destroyer. I work with people like you, good people, who need a way to eliminate their credit card debt and get back on the path to prosperity. My team of experts will work hard to help you eliminate your credit card debt and get you and your credit back on track. No bankruptcy, no loan, your credit card debt eliminated. Have your credit card debt destroyed? Contact me at yourdebtdestroyed.com or call 1-888-431-2829.
Well, we give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money, and we do it all with love. Over to Darnell for the finale.
Thank you, Quiet Storm. The finale. Chef Ernesto, man, it has been a special treat having you on the show. I am so glad I had a chance to talk to you before the show, and just listening to you share so freely, man, it has been a treat and a lot of fun.
All right. I appreciate that.
Oh, man, my pleasure. But let's just dive into the finale. You ready?
Okay.
All right. What challenges, Chef Ernesto, do you see lurking in the waters that would try to slow you down or take you off the path from growing your business and having it succeed beyond expectations?
The only challenges I see is, like I said before, meeting with grant writers and getting the funds to do what I need to do, because it is such a large operation. It is something that will take an astronomical amount of funds, and it is something that I really, really see happening. And it's only possible through my faith in the Lord, So I see it exceeding beyond expectations when you walk into a place and you see a young brother or sister from Africa who has never been to the United States before, and they're working there doing awesome meals and you walk around and you see a brother who will never get a chance anywhere else, but he's come to us and he's got a chance and he's taking care of his family. That's the type of thing that will allow us to succeed beyond our expectations and everybody else's, because if you look over and you see people who are out of prison, they got haters, man. They got people talking about, oh, man, you'll never make it. You'll be back in jail in 2 months. No, that's not what they need. You need a way to take care of your family, and you need a place that you can dedicate yourself to. Let's get busy and let's make this happen.
Wow. Hey, great stuff. Well, Chef Ernesto,
yes,
please share two pitfalls you have seen people fall into when it comes to being consistent in their actions for having success in business. And I know, having been in the restaurant business myself, you got some good ones.
I got a million, but I can only choose two. So I will take one pitfall is that I saw an injury a couple of injuries, that I still need counseling for. One guy got his arm ripped off by the mixer, and as far as him having success in the business, I don't know how that. I'm looking at the pitfalls because this guy had to learn the hard way. Eventually, he stayed in the business and he was able to overcome. And they have these arms now, and they have these, so he's able to overcome and work hard and make it in this business. But what seemed to happen was that his story was like a testimony. After playing around and not taking, the area serious and having a terrible injury like that, you overcome that by being able to still work in the business. And I don't know how much I'm trying to make it make sense, my answer, because that's a crazy question, I tell you. But seriously, after overcoming something like that and being able to continue to work in this business, that is definitely a huge thing for him to make it.
Okay. I mean, so basically attention to detail when it comes to safety.
Attention to details when it comes to safety. And another one, drug use was prevalent, among people in this business. I've had chefs tell me that, when you're a chef and you're in a meeting with a supplier, the first thing you do is load out a bowl of cocaine and get him a hooker, Well, that's not always true. I guess if you're dealing in dirt and you're the devil, you're doing devilish things, then maybe that's the way to do it. But that is a huge pitfall. And the way you come out of that is to get well. I've seen so many people lose their lives. I've seen so many people lose everything that they had. But to get over that was major. And I think most of us know, anybody who was in my age group, I'm in my 50s, and anybody who's in my age group, I'm late 50s, anybody who's fought in the Vietnam War is almost 60 years old at the latest, and then they'll go to like 70 and 80. But I tell you, this is a huge thing to get over when you come from different sides of the world, you got different things happening. You get over something like drug use. You learn how to fall on your face, and you ask God to help deliver you from that.
Please.
I'm trying to make sense. I'm sorry.
Oh no, we appreciate that. We appreciate that, Chef Ernesto. And you're just fine, man. You added just the right amount of seasoning to that question to bring it in. Okay. But here's one.
But before we go forward, just to clarify just a little bit, so just for our audience, so you'd say one pitfall is drug abuse.
Yes, and it's prevalent in this business. Okay. Drug abuse or alcohol abuse.
Drug and alcohol abuse is a big pitfall. Okay, yes. Which can transcend many businesses. And yes. I think our own voice of reason can, not himself personally, but as far as employees, he's seen that in his business.
Yes,
And then the first part is, one pitfall is, and the voice of reason spoke to this, which is not being respectful of what you're doing.
Yes.
Not being respectful of what you're doing. Not being responsible. One, it's a health hazard, but two, in any business, if you're not being responsible for what you're dealing with, you may not get physically hurt, but it's a pitfall.
Yes.
Back to you, voice of reason.
All right. Thank you. Well, Chef Ernesto, please share with us one practice you use daily to keep yourself in action and focused on the results you intend to produce.
Breathe.
Okay. Breathe.
Then pray. Well, I'm going to say pray.
Pray. Okay.
Yes, I'll say pray.
All right. Hey, I thought for some reason I thought you were going to say, hey, I'm making German chocolate cake every day just to make sure my skills stay sharp.
I know you'd like that, but You guys are so funny.
Hey,
I do an ice carving every day. That would be something.
Something to keep them skills. Slice the salmon, something.
Yeah.
But
well, because it's always something to do in this business. And if you're blessed enough to do both, because I do both, I cook and I bake. And if you're blessed enough to do both, then you will always do something to keep yourself sharp every day, as opposed to whether that involves learning about it, or whether that involves doing it a different way, or whether that involves just doing it because you enjoy it.
Okay, and that's a good one. I can relate to that. Like I said, when you have the best of both worlds, you're always doing something. You're always, creating on some level. So I can get that. I can definitely get that. I appreciate that, Chef Ernesto.
All right.
But now here it is. Please tell us, what do you have on your plate? How can our listeners learn more about the projects and activities you're involved with? Social media, websites. Here's your term, Chef Ernesto.
Yes.
Let them have it. Tell them.
And I see what you mean now about having the format of the show. But yes, you can find me on Facebook, Chef Ernesto, or you can go to my radio page, Food Talk with Chef Ernesto, because that's the main thing that I'm doing in my life right now is radio. I'm also mentoring young chefs. I'm also teaching. I run a class in our community for parents and students and anybody who wants to attend it. And I'm also working on another degree, and I'm working on 3 more certifications. So I'm busy. I'm staying busy. There's a lot of things that I have happening in the community. Whenever something happens, people call me. We're involved in several organizations that involve Black chefs. The Black Chefs Collaborative out here in Northern California, to where we always prepare food for the Juneteenth ball and any classy event in between June and the next June. Any classy event, they call all of us, whether it's farm to fork and so we hook up different people with different projects, and people just call me. They call me to teach. They call me to make special appearances. They just have me doing all types of stuff. So just let's see, what else am I doing? Like I said, I'm mentoring the youth from Africa. So there's so many things that I'm doing now. It's just add my hands in fire. But I just want to say that anybody out there who's considering being a chef, people say, and cooks say this all the time, I don't need to go to culinary school. I know how to cook. I'm good. School can't teach me anything. But I equate going to culinary school with a musician who takes theory training, because a musician who has formal training, who takes theory, you're the one who's going to get the studio position. You're the one that's going to get the good high-paying positions. If you want to stay where you are, don't go to culinary school. But I implore you, please go. That way you learn serve safe, food safety. You learn all types of stuff that you would otherwise never learn. Go get your formal training. We're doing formal training here in our community, teaching parents how to make baby food for their kids, to where we're taking food and we're putting it in a food processor, and then we put it in ice cubes, and we freeze it. So when I'm ready to pull out carrots or peas, I pull out an ice cube, thaw it, heat it to 165 degrees. That way it kills all pathogens. Then allow it to cool off to where it's safe to feed your baby. That way you know what's inside of it. There's no preservatives, and you can feed your baby with something that you've made yourself. By blanching carrots, blanching peas, put them in the food processor. You don't have to put the garlic, but add a little honey or something to make it taste good. And you create your own menu for your own baby. Yeah.
Wow. Hey.
We're in the teaching.
Yeah, I can see it. You got your hands in a lot of different areas, and you're making a difference. Please, thank you, Chef Ernesto, for being on Grow Your Mind and Money. You have to please come back and visit us, and we will definitely be checking you out there and hoping to get that call that you got everything together to open up that business and do it like you want to.
I will, and I will be listening to the rest of the show as well. I'm totally enjoying this. This is awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you for having me.
And Chef Ernesto, one thing, because we just can't pass it up, we got to get a shout out to the wife.
Oh, absolutely. Pastor? Yes. You're getting a shout out to my beautiful wife. Oh, God bless.
And would you tell us about her? Where can we attend service?
Her show. She has a show.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, give her a shout out.
Thank you. Yes, I have a radio show, and it's called This Is Your Season Radio Show, and it's on every Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific time here in Sacramento. And it's on www.accesssacramento.org, and you can listen online. Amen? Yes. And I also have a television show we're working on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're doing a lot of things.
And a movie script.
Yeah. We're working on a movie now, so we're doing a lot of things.
Wow.
All right.
Man.
You know we couldn't pass up on the missus.
Oh, absolutely. I thank you for that, because I want to be able to lay down tonight. No,
see, I watch out for a brother.
God bless you guys. I'll be listening. We'll be listening to the rest of the show.
Hey, well, thank you again, Chef Ernesto. But right now, I am wondering, what special dish the kids whipped up for us on Food for Thought? Don't be shouting the kids. Share with us, please. We're hungry.
Ooh, I got you. Food for thought. How great it feels. Remember how great it feels to make a difference? Remember how great it feels to set a goal and then to get it done? Remember how powerful it feels to be faced with a difficult challenge and to work your way through that challenge. Remember how warm and good and right it feels to know you've been a real help to others. Remember yourself for the power and the effectiveness of your own actions. Remember yourself for how far you can go just by making the commitment to do so. Remember all these things and let those positive memories ignite your passion. Remember all the good you've done and then look for opportunities to make more great memories. That wonderful feeling of achievement is already within you, stronger now than ever before. Use this day to give it new expression. Remember how great it feels to make the effort and to make it count. Remember to make more great memories of achievement right now. An action I see I can take for myself when it comes to the theme, how great it feels, is to step out of my situations and circumstances for the moment and reflect back on all of the progress that I've made, the differences that I've made, the impact that I've made, not just in my life or in my son's life, but in the lives of others, ex-offenders, parolees, people disenfranchised, homeless, those that are, they would like to feel and believe they're in one position, but the reality shows them something different, and they're trying to climb their way out of that situation and circumstance, and some people lean on me in order to give them that guidance to get from one stepping stone to the next. Remembering that I'm not here at this very moment by mistake, and understanding how great it feels to know that throughout all my journey and my travels and my disappointments and my joys, my laughter and my tears and the expectations and the disappointments and the unknowns and the fear, false evidences appearing real, God brought me from where I was, from merely being a thought, to an infant, to a toddler, to a teenager, to a young adult, to an adult, to a 40 brought me here. And I was able to do it by his grace and favor and mercy and forgiveness. And just because he had a plan and a purpose for my life, how great it feels to know that I can look back at my history and know that I didn't get here by mistake. I wasn't alone through my journey. And I made impacts in business. I made impacts in people's lives. I made impacts in situations and circumstances. We've all made impacts, no matter how long that contact was, seasons or a lifetime. How great it feels to me to know that my story has not ended. The book has not yet been closed. And that all of the promises and the purposes that God has for me to get from where I was by merely being a thought and non-existent to where I am today and where he chooses to have me in the future. Woo! The memories that I will make. How great it feels over the quiet storm for some prosperity work.
Yes, indeed. I cleanse my mind for prosperity. As a child, I wanted to hurry and get dressed to go out and play. And my mother would say, you don't put clean clothes on a dirty body. And have me take a bath or shower. Prosperity cannot enter a space that is dirty or cluttered with negative thoughts and resentments. When we focus on the wrongs in the world and allow them to make us bitter, we push away the goodness the universe is working to provide us. No, you are not foolish because you are not focusing on the negativity or the so-called truth of the injustices. No, in fact, you are practicing wisdom by letting them go and focusing on the good you can create in the face of injustice. The work. This week's exercise is cleansing our minds for prosperity. Create a list of 3 subjects or topics dealing with negative events in the world or history that you are willing to let go so you can create a clean space for prosperity. Say this affirmation daily. I know that release is magnetic. Through the act of release, I draw to myself my own. I now fully and freely release. I loose and let go. I let go and grow. I let go and trust. Now share your list with at least one person daily and invite them to participate. And remember, you've got to demand a miracle.
A world of peace and prosperity. One listener at a time. Until next time, grow your mind and money. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.